Hey there guys, and welcome back. So it looks like the full trailer for How to Train Your Dragon has landed online, and I have to say guys, I think it looks incredible. I think this looks like a great movie. I'm really excited to see what they do with this. I've really loved the trilogy of animated films they put out, and this seems to be kind of a rehash of that first movie. I see a lot of people online saying, why did they bother making this movie if they're just copying the first movie? But it looks like some of the creatives behind this live action remake have come out and said that they've added more depth to the characters. They've changed things up ever so slightly, but it seems to be, from what I was saying, like a bit of a rehash of the first movie. But I have no problem with that because live action and animated is two very different mediums. It's going to look completely different. It's going to make us feel different things. It's going to look different on screen, and it's going to play out in certain different ways. And I'm just really excited for it. I mean, dragons, Vikings, fighting, dragons breathing fire on people. I mean, what more could you want? I mean, it looks great from my perspective. I think it looks fantastic. So let's get into it. We'll talk about the movie and we'll play clips of the new trailer over the top while we talk about it. So this comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. How to Train Your Dragon, Hiccup and Toothless take flight in epic new trailer and poster. So the new trailer and poster for the live action How to Train Your Dragon have finally been unleashed, and all signs point to the movie doing right by the beloved DreamWorks animation classic, by not being all that different from it. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? They're trying to play on nostalgia. They're trying to keep the audience that they made for those animated movies. They're trying not to divert too far away from it. And I completely understand why they're sticking to that first movie so much in the way that they have done. They're working on nostalgia. They're working on the love for that movie. And they're trying to bring back those fans who watched that first movie and fell in love with it, bringing them over to the live action version. If we go forward into a brand new live action trilogy, if they do more subsequent live action movies, maybe they'll start to divert a little bit more from the second and third movie as we go along. Maybe they're just using this tactic to rehash the first movie with this live action movie just to bring the fans back. And then as we go along to the live action movies, the subsequent movies, maybe they'll start to divert, ever so slowly away from those animated movies, and it will become its own kind of thing. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that plays out. So Toothless looks amazing, as do the rest of the dragons that take center stage. Yeah, I mean, they've done a fantastic job. The CGI on the dragons looks incredible. I think it looks really good. All signs point to this being an epic fantasy movie in its own right, and regardless of how much the original How to Train Your Dragon achieved on screen in 2010, the visual showcase and the sneak peek are on a completely different level. Absolutely, like what they've done with the Toothless dragon, he looks exactly like he's ripped out of the animated feature, but just made into live action. Like, his design looks perfect. You would have thought that it would look really good in a live action version, but they've done a fantastic job with it, and it looks great. It looks exactly on point. I don't see how they could have done it any better. But the flight scenes look great. I mean, the Viking battle scenes look great. The flames coming out of the dragons' mouths when they're breathing fire on people, the action pack, the fantasy epic. I mean, I think it looks great. If we just look at this as an isolated movie and don't worry about the animated trilogy, this movie in its own right, it looks really good. And if those other animated movies hadn't come out, I think a lot of people would still be very excited for this movie. So, in terms of the human characters, it appears as if we can expect their personality and relationships to be better fleshed out in this reimagining. Filmmaker Dean DeBlois confirmed that the priority during a recent interview with The Wrap. So, Dean DeBlois went on to say this. I'm myself not a huge fan of animation to live action trend, he said, of his approach to the live action remake. I am not a huge fan of animation to live action trend. So it sounds like he probably wouldn't have gone this direction if he had his own choice, but it looks like Universal backed up a dump truckload of money to his house and said, we're doing a live action remake, we want you to come back, here's all the money, go ahead and make it. So Universal wanted to revisit the story. It's like, we're going to do it, let's try and do it right. I mean, that's the thing. It's great that he's come out and said that the live action remakes aren't really his thing, but still he's doing it, and if he is going to do it, then he's going to do it right, and that's exactly the attitude to have. So that first movie was made in a rush, and I'm super proud of it, but there are things that we could have done even better. My attitude was, let's not throw the baby out of the bathwater, the Blois continued. We still had time and money to go a little deeper with characters, to enrich the experience, to make the action scenes, the flying, more visceral, more immersive, but also make the character relationships a little richer and deeper. So yeah, that's kind of how this diverts from that first movie. So they've got a lot more time here, probably a lot more money, and it sounds like they've kind of enriched the relationships and the backstories and the character arcs, made the characters a little bit deeper, a little bit more nuanced, and that's kind of great. That's what we would expect in a live action retelling of this story. The director, hopefully the experience will be something that echoes the familiarity of and nostalgia of the first movie, but with depth. There are many ways we could have gone, but that's the way we felt most comfortable to me, because I'm really proud of that animated movie. Among the characters we get to know a little bit better is Astrid. The boy says she's now a character with more weight and depth, meaning you understand where she's coming from, what she wants, her attitude towards Hiccup as being this person of privilege, where she's had to work her way up. So it does sound like one of the main characters that they've tried to add more depth to is this Astrid character, which is obviously one of the major supporting characters around the Hiccup, which is the main character in the story. So adding that depth to the supporting character is going to probably enrich Hiccup as well, and ultimately enrich the story as we go along, which is great. I mean, if we understand more about her motivations, that's going to have a better chemistry with Hiccup on screen, and ultimately it's going to translate into a better overall narrative and piece of storytelling, which is, you know, as a movie fan, what more could you ask for? But yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, if they can nail the story and nail the characters and they've added more depth, the flight scenes look great, the marketing's looked fantastic, the CGI on the dragons is unbelievable in my opinion. The cast that they've got I think is really great. And yeah, I mean, all around, I can't really say anything negative about what I've seen in the marketing so far. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, so I'm really excited to see it. And I'll definitely be doing a review once this movie comes out to let you guys know if it lives up to the hype that I'm experiencing with it so far. And guys, jump into the comment section. You see this trailer, you've seen the posters as well. Let me just go down. I actually missed the poster, I think. So this is the poster. This is the poster here, obviously Hiccup riding on the back of Toothless. And like I say, the design for Toothless just looks fantastic. I think it looks great. I would love to own this poster. I really would. But yeah, jump into the comment section, guys. You've seen the trailer, you've seen the posters, and we've read a little bit of this information about them adding depth and kind of richness to some of the characters here. Does it get you more excited for the movie? Like me, is it one of your most anticipated movies of the year? Or is it something that maybe you feel like this remake didn't need to be made? Whatever your thoughts and opinions are, jump into the comment section and let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. As always, thanks so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber of the channel if you haven't done so already. It goes a long way to supporting my content, so I'd really, really appreciate that. And I will see you in the next video.